Retro.
You are now live with the Locked In Podcast. As always, your hosts for the evening, Steve Ushler and George Menchai. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to turn notifications on to stay up to date with the most current personal development tips and sports analysis. With that being said, welcome to the podcast and enjoy the show. Was muted there for a second. What is going on, guys? What is up? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 183. We are back tonight on the sports side of things. I'm going to be checking the Facebook groups as well for comments because I can't really see them up here. So put them in. Got a comment from my guy Mike here. Mike said, "What's up, guys? Great to see y'all. Appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it, brother. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in tonight, man. I really appreciate that. And we're back on the sports side tonight. We're doing a 2024 NFL season kickoff. We'll also feature some Philadelphia Eagles sports talk with my guy Rich Mitchell, aka Rich M Media on YouTube. If you guys do not know who Rich is, well, Rich is a regular here at the podcast. He's essentially one of the part of the team here at Locked In Nation. So Rich is going to come on. He's got a YouTube channel focused on Eagles content. If you guys are Philadelphia Eagles fans, you want to check his channel out for sure. So that's Rich, R-I-C-H, space M, capital M, space media. Check him out on YouTube, guys, for your Eagles needs. And his content is going to be ramping up a lot now that the NFL season is back in full force beginning tonight. With Ravens Chiefs, I believe they kick off at 8:20. So we're going to break down, this first full week of matchups. I'm going to tell you some ones that I think are interesting to look out for. And we'll keep this one pretty brief tonight, guys. 45 minutes, maybe an hour. As Rich kind of piles in a little bit, and then we might have Mario in here too. Rob was supposed to come in, but Rob is not going to be able to make it tonight. He got called into a important meeting that kind of has to go priority over this tonight. So I want to put in Mike commented in crazy 183 episodes down. Yeah, time has really, really flown. When you think about it, we started this channel in COVID days. So literally it's been 4 years. 4 years since this podcast essentially kicked off. It will be starting next week. Still going at it. Essentially, you would think we'd be just a little over 200, but because we've taken hiatus and breaks off, we would really be at about 208, but we're at 183. So we're about 20 episodes short of that mark. And that's because we had hiatuses, weeks off, personal things pop up. But other than those 20 to 25 episodes we've missed over the last 4 years, we've been relatively consistent. We haven't really missed much. So we're here. Mike said, yup, it's been great, man. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Man, you were actually one of the first guests that we ever had on this podcast. So I think you came in and 6 months into the show. We're about 4 years now. You came in 6 months. Maybe I'll have to have you on soon too, bro. Let's link up behind the scenes and we'll talk. Let's see if we can get you a topic, man, and get you back in here. It's been crazy. It's been so long since you've been on last, like 3.5 years. Crazy. I think we talked cars and stuff like that. Long time has come, man. I know the kids are growing up, and I know it's a lot has changed in 3.5 years, man. It's crazy to even think that much time has gone by. But yeah, tonight this is what we're going to be talking about. Philadelphia sports talk with the Eagles. We'll also talk. We're going to kick off week 1 of the NFL season. I can't believe that we are already back in football season. We now have football all the way till February, starting tonight. Well, literally today. Very crazy. Very crazy that we're here. Yeah, we'll have Philadelphia Phillies content coming with the next month of October. Red October be around the corner. How about that Phillies game the other night too, guys? Kyle Schwarber, 3 home runs. Like that was a hell of a game against the Toronto Blue Jays. That 10-9 finish the other night. We've been seeing some good sports here. A lot of people amped up for the Sixers too. Paul George moves. Sixers always, as always, I'm just like kind of prepared to get my heart broken with the Sixers. So, they always have to show me something. I'm just really realistically never, ever fully there with the Sixers, to be honest. Ever since, we've had just a lot of different things going on with the Sixers. Mike said, yeah, I'm down, brother. My son is 5 and my daughter is 3. Wow, man. Wow. Yeah, man, I remember your daughter was still on the way when you were last on here. So, wow. Yeah, she wasn't fully here yet. Your son was little, was a lot younger. So he was probably about 2, 1.5, and now he's 5. Wow. Time truly flies, man. You're blessed though, man. You got a good family. So appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to tune over to the Facebook comments real quick too. Well, I don't know if we have any, but I just want to make sure I'm picking up everything here. Let me see. Let's make sure we're good here. Got some views, nothing here. Some views, nothing here. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I'm covering all bases right here. But yeah, tonight should be a good episode. Like I said, 45 minutes to an hour, nothing crazy. We'll see how long it takes Rich to get in here. Marius is a tentative, and Rob will not be joining tonight because of something else. So we'll see who we're getting in here tonight, but Rich should definitely be in here so we can talk some Eagles. Big game tomorrow night. Big game. Green Bay Packers, one of the toughest matchups of the season, in my opinion, and it starts tomorrow in Brazil. What do you guys think about that? What are your guys' thoughts on the matchup? I think it's going to be an interesting one. If you're not already subscribed, you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, guys. Definitely want to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you don't have notifications turned on, hit the notification bell, guys. Release new episodes every single week related to either personal development or sports. You don't want to miss it, especially if you're interested in that type of content. Got some great stuff lined up this fall, so make sure you stay locked in with the Locked In podcast. If you're watching on Facebook, I just want to thank you because you're probably already part of the group. So thanks. Same thing. If you like what you're watching here tonight, hit the like button. Helps out a lot. And then, like Mike is here, feel free to engage. Feel free to comment if you see something you want to talk about. We're going to get into the schedule in a minute. Hopefully, Rich gets on here rather quickly, or at some point, in the next 45 minutes, we'll have him in, and we will talk Eagles. So I'm going to talk and jump right in here with the NFL schedule for this week. Let me actually put this on the other screen so I can kind of share and break down this. Let us share here. I'm going to share this. All right. So this is the week 1 schedule. Football is back. Crazy. This starts tonight. We got it tonight, right? I want to zoom in for you guys so you guys can kind of see it a little bit more. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Kicking it off tonight, we got the Chiefs and the Ravens. Typically, it should show out to be a good matchup, great matchup. This one's in Kansas City, but it looks like it's going to be a great matchup. I'm assuming, it's probably going to show out to be that way. Probably a relatively close game. Chiefs are going to be getting the rings tonight. There's going to be a celebration, obviously, because they're Super Bowl champs, repeating. Unfortunately, as an Eagles fan, I didn't really care to see that Super Bowl last year because I don't really care for the Chiefs. And I do not care either way for the 49ers either. So, don't really care for that Super Bowl. But the Chiefs, nonetheless, are going to get their rings tonight. They're going to be home in Arrowhead. I mean, I don't really like the Ravens either, I'm going to be honest, either way. But I'm still going to be rooting for the Ravens over the Chiefs. This doesn't really hold a lot of stock for the Eagles because this is not a conference matchup. So, there is it's not a conference matchup. There is it's not a conference matchup, so it doesn't really hold a lot of stock for us. But anytime the Chiefs get a loss, I think it's they're like the new Patriots. It's nice to see if you're not a Chiefs fan. We got the Green Bay. So I'm actually going to pick in this one. I don't want to go around and create. I'm just going to make honestly guesses here. I'm actually going to say that. I think the Ravens are going to come out with a chip. I know the Chiefs are home. I think the Ravens are going to win this one. I do. Wouldn't be shocked to see the Chiefs win it. They're home. They should win it. I think the Ravens are going to come out. This is going to, even though this is not a playoff game, like Lamar Jackson has to win in the playoffs. I think the Ravens are going to come out like thinking it's a revenge tour. They're going to come out and win this game tonight. I think it'll still be close. Packers, Eagles. We've already discussed this, and I do think the Eagles are going to win this game. However, I think it is going to be extremely close, and I would not be shocked if the Green Bay Packers win this game. I am picking my Eagles, though. This is going to be one of the tougher games of the season. I would say probably ranked in the top 3 toughest games they're going to have to face this season. And if it was at home, maybe I wouldn't say that, but Green Bay is a really, really tough opponent, and on top of it, they do have to go to Brazil. Yeah, my guy Rich in here. Yo, Rich, what's up, bro?
How you doing?
Good, man, good. Rich M Media, guys. Check out his YouTube channel. It's my guy Rich Mitchell, returning back as always. What up, brother? Yeah, I was just breaking down some schedules, man. We actually we're only at game 2, man. I'm actually talking our Eagles here, but man, we got some football back tonight, man. We got some Ravens and Chiefs tonight. It's gonna be interesting, bro. It's crazy to think football's back, man, all the way now till February.
Yeah, man, it's been honestly a very fast off season. I don't know if it's because of all the moves that the Eagles have been making, but it just kind of seems like we've had like that itch scratch, especially with how last year ended. I just think that a lot of the moves that have been made have kind of kept the fan base stimulated, have kind of kept the fan base active and talking. And so I don't think it's really been a boring point this off season, unlike many other off seasons that we've had. Where we probably made like three or four moves here, and then along the year made three or four moves. Now it's kind of like it's almost like every time you look around, Howie was at work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a consistent, very fast offseason because a lot of things were going on. There were a lot of wheels in motion. So I agree. I think that this year just kind of flew in the offseason. Um, I'm excited though, man. We got football back. Out of curiosity, man, for this game tonight, this Ravens Chiefs game, who do you have winning it? My pick was I said that Kansas City should win the game. However, I think the Ravens are going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, and even though it's in Kansas City, I think they're going to want to kind of try to get a revenge spot and try to win this game tonight. They're probably going to have a chip on their shoulder for the way they lost last year. This was the playoffs. I would pick the Chiefs, but I think the Ravens are going to win tonight.
No, I completely agree. I think even with the result that happened in KC with the Eagles versus Kansas City last year, we actually beat them. And I think that Kansas City is slowly but surely kind of going off of that high horse. I know they've won three Super Bowls, but I think that with Derrick Henry, the addition of Derrick Henry to the Ravens, roster, I think that's bigger than what a lot of people understand. Derrick Henry is a top five running back, point blank period, and I think he's gonna, if Derrick, I'll make a quick prediction. If Derrick Henry gets over 100 yards this game, it's the Ravens game. If he gets under 100 yards, it's the Chiefs game because I think that Patrick Mahomes, it's about how long you can hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball,
Yeah.
long drives and score, right? If Ravens get shut down, if they can't do that, and the ball gets back in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and he's able to and Lamar has to really kind of duel with Patrick Mahomes in the air. I think Patrick Mahomes is always going to win those. I think the person who got the closest to doing that, and this is not even being biased, but the person who's got the closest to doing that, the person who's beat Mahomes, it's Jalen Hurts. Like he's beat him last year in the season. Super Bowl, it came up short, but even that, if you look at the stats, he outplayed Mahomes that Super Bowl, even though we lost that Super Bowl. So the only person who's been able to kind of consistently duel with Patrick Mahomes I have seen is like, Jalen Hurts. I mean, I can't. It's hard to really see a game where Derrick Henry gets over 100 rushing yards and Baltimore Ravens lose.
Yeah, I agree. If they can attack the ground game, I think that the Ravens will win. I don't even think it's a question. I think the Ravens win the game. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the two defenses too because they're both two good defenses. I think the Ravens are going to win this one tonight, and obviously I got our Birds winning tomorrow. But I did say I think this is going to be one of the top three toughest games of the season for multiple reasons. I think the number one is the opponent, is Green Bay. They are tough. We saw in the playoffs last year. But also, you're going on the road to Brazil. That's a tough game for either opponent, to be honest, because you have to travel all the way over to Brazil to play this game. So it's not an easy environment for either team. That's why I have it as one of the top three toughest matchups this season that they have. If they win this one, they're going to be in a really good spot. But I do see them squeaking it out. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, and you're talking, to be clear, you're talking Packers Eagles right now, right?
Packers Eagles, yep.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you, man. I think it's going to be a duel, same as Ravens and Chiefs. I think it's going to be the contingencies of the game are going to be based off of some of the pieces that are added, the new addition pieces, and how much of an impact they make. I do think that the same thing essentially, like I don't necessarily, but the difference between me and the Chiefs and Ravens and Eagles and Packers, I don't think Saquon Barkley needs 100 rushing yards to for the Eagles to beat the Packers. And I mean, we have one of the best receivers in the game right now, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and then Dotson, as a third string wide receiver. So essentially, we got a guy who is a second string wide receiver on any other team in the NFL. And like a number two receiver, and he's going up against every team's third best cornerback. So and then you got Dallas Goddard on top of that. So I don't know how they're going to be able to. I just don't know how with as good, and the Packers defense is good. They have one of the best corners in the game. The Green Bay Packers do, but he can't be at in two places at once. You know what I mean? And so the third, fourth best cornerback on that Packers defense is going to have to, and of course, I am kind of worried about the Eagles defense as well. So I do think this will be an offensive game, and I do see the Eagles coming out on top. And that's no bias talk. I really do think that the Green Bay Packers are a really great team. I think they're a playoff team. They are a young team. It's only about two players over the age of 30 on the Packers team. So very young team. We don't know how they're going to play in these situations in these big games. So yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of vets. Yeah, it should be an interesting one, man. Eagles are going to be in a great spot if they can win that game. I personally think they'll go undefeated into the bye if they win that game. Let me scroll down a little bit here. We had I think I went a little bit too far here. Let's see. Yeah. So we got some other games. Not really something that's really going to draw people's attention unless you're a fan of if any of some of these upcoming teams. But we'll go through them relatively quick. We got the Panthers and the Saints. I still think the Saints are a better team. It's number one, the Saints are home. Number two, it is a division game, but I do have the Saints winning this game because the Panthers are just not a good team. They're just not a good team.
No, so, I agree. Yeah. I mean, the Panthers are, I'm with you. Saints at home, especially. Yeah, even with you more. And am I mistaken? Does the Saints not have Spencer Rattler?
Or no, I don't know.
I believe. Call me crazy, but I think the Saints have Spencer Rattler. Let me look that up real quick because I know he went off somewhere to some team this draft, and I am a fan of Spencer Rattler.
Let's do some research here.
Spencer, here we go.
Right.
Yes, I'm right. Spencer Rattler is a quarterback of New Orleans Saints. He's up there with Derek Carr. I just really think Spencer Rattler is a beast. I'm not the best fan of his attitude, but from what I've heard since then, he's matured in a lot of ways. So I'm looking forward to seeing this guy play against crippled of a franchise in the Carolina Panthers.
I will say the Saints have a relatively good defense too. They do. They that sometimes goes under the radar with them. They do a relatively good defense. The Giants and the Vikings, two teams that also really aren't great. But I'm gonna be honest, the Giants really don't have anybody that stands out on their roster as like a superstar. The Vikings have Justin Jefferson, so I'm gonna this is a road game for the Vikings, but I still am gonna take the Vikings over the Giants. I think the Giants are one of the worst teams in football this year. They're probably a bottom 5 team. I'm gonna have the Vikings winning this one.
Yeah, now you know what?
Football's weird though, you never know.
Football is weird. But I agree with you. The Giants suck. I'm sorry. They have no one on our offense. Saquon Barkley was their whole offense, and they essentially gave him up.
Yeah, they don't have more. So that's what I'm saying. They got Justin Jefferson. They have somebody that can torch people. So like
Jefferson's gonna destroy them. And Daniel Jones, I can't without that security blanket that is Saquon Barkley. I see a lot of exposure happening to Daniel Jones. You've seen it time and time again, Steve. Riled up in the pocket, man. This guy is not the same, Daniel Jones. So yeah.
You got the Vikings there. We got another one there too. We got the Patriots and the Bengals. Give me the Bengals on this. Bengals are home too. They're in Cincy. This team can be a very dangerous team. I actually have the Eagles losing to them later this year because it's a game in Cincy, and I think it's on a short week. It obviously depends on where Joe Burrow's health is, because if Joe Burrow's hurt again, I'll probably pick the Eagles. But fully healthy Joe Burrow, this is going to be week 1. I'm going Cincy against New England. New England, again, another one of those teams that's probably bottom 5. And they have this guy, they have that quarterback that they drafted. They don't really know what maybe they have in them yet, but Jacoby Brissett's probably playing week 1. Give me Cincy.
Yeah, man. I'm. This shouldn't be a tough choice, but for some weird reason, it is for me. I just have a knack. I just have this weird feeling that these week one games are really really weird sometimes, where it's
They
just
are
there's some
getting the rust
anomalies,
off.
like
They're
you
getting the
know,
rust off.
it's some anomalies in the Russ. Patriots have a respectable defense. I truly believe Patriots have a respectable defense. I'm gonna say that if this is a defensive game, Patriots can squeeze this game out. But if it turns into an offensive firefight, the Bengals got it. If you're forcing me, Steve, bro, if you're forcing me to say make a decision, I'm going with the Bengals. If you're going to force me to pick one, you know.
Bang. Okay. Yeah, I just
Oh, your volume, bro. Just having some technical difficulties with the microphone, but going to make some quick adjustments here. While he's doing that, I do want to emphasize though,
my
like I
bad,
said,
man.
oh, here we go. He's back. There we go.
Yeah, my bad, man. I don't know what
All
happened.
right.
I think the mic went
Don't
out
worry
for a
about it.
sec, but yeah, no, I just have that. I know week ones can be weird, so but I'm just gonna pick the Bengals. But teams obviously sometimes struggle to take the to shake the rust off. We saw last year the Eagles almost lost that game to the Patriots week one because it was a really close game. That game was in New England, but we almost lost that game
Yeah.
last year to start the season. At the Falcons and the Steelers too. Steelers are one of those teams. They're a proud organization. I just really don't. I still just don't think the Steelers are going to be a really great team this year. They do have two quarterbacks to utilize in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I think Russell Wilson is going to be getting the start, and then they're going to see what they can do with Fields later. But this game's in Atlanta. I actually think Atlanta is going to be not like extremely good, but I think they're going to be sneaky decent, like in the NFC this year. They might be able to get in as a wild card. I honestly think that they might be okay this year. We shall see, but I'm going to take Atlanta in this game because I don't think Atlanta's as bad as people really think. Roster wise, we'll see what happens, but it should be interesting.
Yeah, I think this is where me and you disagree, man. We got the good old Kirk Cousins, prime time Kirk Cousins. We got Justin Simmons, Michael Penix Jr. We got B. John Robinson out there in Atlanta. Um, I think they got some heavy hitters in Atlanta now. Not to take away from Atlanta, but the reason I gotta disagree with you, man, I'm still, I'm still a believer in Russell Wilson, man.
Okay.
But not for the long term. So I think that Wilson will start the season off pretty good, but I think there will be a point in time where he hits stuff hits the fan between egos and just the way that things are ran in Steel City. I just think that Russell is going to lose that starting position probably by week 8 to Justin. To not oh
Okay.
gosh yeah.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields. So, um, yeah, but I feel like he's going to start off strong this year, and I think he'll look good early in the year. But I don't think that Russell Wilson will be able to sustain that. But I'm still a believer in Russell. I still got a lot of love for Russell Wilson, but just hearing from previous Seahawks teammates and things of that nature, the way that he carries himself, as far as sometimes there's a lack of accountability with some of the mistakes. Sometimes there's a oh we'll get him next time type attitude without any real correction. Um, so I think that it'll be a close game, and I think that Steelers will be at risk of losing this game. But I think that the veteran, um, who has a bit of more playoff um, caliber experience, I think Russell's going to lean on that, and I think he'll just be pulling them out of Atlanta that game. I think they'll just squeak by.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
a respect. That's respectable. I mean, it could go either way. Um, if this was a primetime game, I'd probably pick the Steelers because it's a 1 o'clock game. I think Kirk might be okay. We'll see. He is, and that's the thing. Yeah. Russell Wilson definitely has more playoff experience. I mean, he's a Super Bowl champ. He's been to another Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins has never barely even sniffed any. But I know during the season, Kirk Cousins actually is a pretty solid quarterback. He just struggles when it matters, and it is in prime time. I think the Eagles play them in prime time or something like that. So, or I know we play them again. That's the thing. We play the Falcons week 2. Why are we always playing Kirk Cousins week 2? It's usually the Vikings, but now it's the Falcons.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird how it lines up.
Yeah,
because I take that almost as an automatic W. Not always, but yeah. So I'll pick the Falcons. You got the Steelers. You got the Texans and the Colts. Division games are always close, but give me my man CJ Stroud over there. I know it's a road game. I got the Texans winning this one. CJ Stroud's a beast. I think he's going to continue to take a leap this year. Division games though. Division games are usually pretty close. So I wouldn't be shocked. It's a close one. Maybe Texans squeak it out at the end, especially on the road.
I'm with you, man. I'm with this CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs gang over there. Diggs, I think he has a lot to prove. A lot of the haters from out in Buffalo, you know what I mean? A lot of people talking trash on him as he's walking out the door from Buffalo. So I think Diggs will take that personally. I think Diggs is going to tear it up. I think he's going to get at least 70 yards receiving this game. I think he's going to tear the Colts up. I don't think they'll have an answer for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, probably not. That should be an interesting one. There and then who's their coach? D'Amico Ryan, right? D'Amico Ryan's is the
Yes.
Texans coach. Yeah. Former Eagle. Yeah. I think it'll be too much for the Colts on the road. I still got the Texans, Cardinals, and Bills. You're going to Buffalo. I'm curious to see what Kyler Murray looks like this year. I don't know. But I still am going to pick the Bills here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the Cardinals might not be as bad as last year, but I still don't think they're a great team. Give me Buffalo though at home. I'm taking Buffalo. Josh Allen. I know they don't have Diggs anymore. But Josh Allen is still a good quarterback, especially during the regular season.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
taking the Bills.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you, man. I mean, I think this is a no-brainer for obvious reasons. I don't really, with our history with Cardinals and their head coach, I just don't. I think he's a cornball, man. I'm just being 100% honest with you. That coach is, he talks a lot, but he doesn't really back a lot up. And I think when it comes to real teams, real talented guys like Josh Allen, I just don't think that this particular team defensively will have an answer for Josh Allen. And I don't think that offensively they're that great, the Cardinals. So I definitely am with you on that. And I got the Bills.
Yeah. So then we'll go to the next one: Titans and Bears. Interesting one here too, but I don't think the Titans are a great team. I think the Bears have some things to be excited about this year, but I still don't think they're not going to be a top 4 team in the NFC. But they have some solid firepower on offense. I'm curious to see what they can do. This is a game in Chicago. I think it would be really tough to pick had it been in Tennessee, but it's in Chicago. Give me Chicago here. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I just think, they got a great rookie quarterback coming in. I think he's very talented. I think he backs up what he says. I think this kid's a winner, man. And his reaction last college football season to losing, that breakdown that he had, a lot of people kind of poke fun at him and tease him about it, but that's some real passion right there, man. That's not something you can really fake. I think he wants it. I think he has the tools around him to do it. I think Bears defense can hold off Titans offense, especially without Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree there. So I'm gonna go the Bears. Then we got the Jags and the Dolphins. Jaguars had a really disappointing end to their season last year. They lost 5 of 6 or 4 or 5, something crazy, and they lost a big game to not make the playoffs last year. I think Doug Peterson's job's in jeopardy this year, so he's probably going to have a chip on his shoulder. Although Doug Peterson, he's got a Super Bowl ring, so he can probably – I'm pretty sure there's a lot of teams that will probably pick him up as a coach. I think that his job might be in jeopardy, though, this year. But The Dolphins are playing at home. They're in a warm environment where they like to play. I mean, well, Jaguars play in a warm environment too. And they both play in Florida, but give me the Dolphins here. Give me the Dolphins at home, but I think this will be a really close game. Had this been in Jacksonville, maybe I pick Jacksonville here, but because it's in Miami, I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Yeah, they got a really great weapon in Tyreek Hill. Um, Tua is amazing. For all intents and purposes, they got a pretty solid defense. Dolphins, um, not great, but serviceable. And I think that the Jaguars are just, Trevor Lawrence is an amazing quarterback, but when he gets hit, he's just different. When they have access to you, he's a different quarterback. And I think Trevor Lawrence is a serviceable quarterback. I don't think that he's elite, so to speak. I think that he's good, and there's a difference.
Def-
And these games, especially against the Dolphins are at home. You said,
Dolphins are home. Yeah.
yeah, especially games like these where we're very, a contender. I consider the Dolphins a contender. Games like this, you got to be great as a quarterback. And I think Trevor Lawrence is getting there. I don't think he's there yet. But I do respect the team, and I hate picking against Doug. I hate it. I hate it. I hate picking against Doug because to me, he's one of the best Eagles coaches, if not the best Eagles coach in history. But I gotta go Dolphins. Dolphins have a pretty great coach themselves, great quarterback, great wide receiver. They have way too many pieces. I just think it's going to be too much for the Jags.
Yeah, they got a whole complimentary crew out there, so it's gonna be they have let me see what you call it. So my bad, give me 1 second. Jalen Waddle's gonna be playing week 1 too, so yeah, they have Jalen Waddle too, so it's gonna be full prediction on Jalen Waddle. Oh yeah, I don't know if is Waddle playing week 1? Is he hurt? Let me see something real quick. But yeah, they have a nasty. Oh damn! It's got me connected to both. Give me 1 second. It's like I'm unzooming on the one side. That's unzooming on the end. Let me see. I think he might be injured. Yeah, I think he might be good to go week 1. So yeah, no. So I mean, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill. That's a nasty. That's a really, really nasty duo. Right there. That's going to be too much, I think, for the Jaguars.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be too much. Let me switch over here to the screen. Give me 1 second. There we go. So then we got the Broncos and the Seahawks. Broncos are one of those teams I think is going to be in the basement this year. I do not think they're going to be a good team at all. Seahawks, Geno Smith, they're a serviceable team. Give me the Seahawks in Seattle. Give me the Seahawks
in Seattle. Yeah, yeah.
I got the Broncos
If
as like a
they're in
basement.
Seattle, it's a done deal. I agree.
Yeah, they're serviceable.
Yeah, they have a pretty consistently solid defense. Um, Rookie quarterback for the Broncos. It's definitely gonna be his welcome to NFL moment.
True.
During this game, those guys in Seattle out there, they hit hard, and sometimes they hit late. So, and they do not get
Yeah,
penalized all the time for it. And
right.
this wouldn't be a team that they would get penalized for it anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we got another 4 o'clock game. We got the Raiders and the Chargers. Raiders, another team. I mean, I don't know what to make it of Raiders. Like they're another team that I just don't think is like crazy, crazy good. I don't think they have a super crazy identity. Chargers, they struggled a lot in the defensive side last year. However, you got to remember they have a new coach this year. They got Jim Harbaugh playing there. I'm kind of curious to see what he can do with Herbert, and especially honestly with that defense, because that's what needs the most retooling. Chargers lost a lot of their games by their team was actually putting up offensive points, but the defense was allowing more points than Herbert, and the offense was actually scoring, which is why they were losing games. They were scoring a decent amount of points. They were just allowing a shit ton of points. So the defense needed a lot of retooling. Curious to see. It's in LA. Give me the Chargers. it's going to be it's but it I mean it's going to be a new system for. I mean, this is all going to be new for Harbaugh coming back too. But give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Chargers, man. And just to talk a little bit about what you said about the defense, giving up a lot of points here. Like, we do have to note the fact that, they did have a lot of injuries last year on defense. So I really do think they'll be getting a lot of good pieces back. Um, Hopefully, Justin Herbert will be able to handle this transition well. Hopefully, they're not changing up too much on offense. In terms of Eagles changes, like I think like it was completely necessary. Just we needed a whole new revamped offense. With these guys, the Chargers, I think they were still scoring points last year. Hopefully, they didn't change too much on the offensive side, just the defensive side. Um, had Kellen Moore last year. So it was just a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball, really, for the Chargers. So just looking forward to seeing them play well. I think they will. Raiders, like you said, they're just always kind of a wild card. The Raiders, yeah, man, I'm taking the Chargers. That's the safe, Justin Herbert. I definitely trust him more. So I'm going with that.
Agreed. Yeah. He is the much better quarterback. And then we have one. This is going to be one of our interesting ones, obviously, as Eagles fans. The 425 slot. We got the Dallas Cowboys versus the Cleveland Browns. This game's in Cleveland, 425. I'll actually let you go with your thoughts on this one first. What are you thinking about this game?
L,
Obviously,
L,
L for Dallas.
Cowboys, L. And this is what
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
Cleveland's defense is legit. They're also missing Bland as well. Deron Bland is out for I think what 6. I forget the exact amount of weeks, but
6 to
he's
8
out for
weeks.
he's out a good amount of time. So they're missing their star corner, and Deron Bland. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is anything what he used to be. I really don't think he's that great right now. But Cleveland's defense is legitimate. Cleveland's defense is legit. Yeah, they're gonna have to watch out for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, I think Miles Garrett is going to, for all intensive purposes, destroy Dak. They did get their linemen, they did get, they have a great line for all intents and purposes. Dallas has a great line. They signed CeeDee Lamb. They're it's going to be a good game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Cowboys hater per se. Well, I hate the Cowboys, so I guess I am. But I'm gonna be, realistic about this situation. CeeDee Lamb has only had a week of training camp practice. That man, I do not believe will be in football shape to go against these cornerbacks. Maybe if they were playing someone like the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? If they were playing somebody like maybe even you know, maybe even the Giants or something like that, he would be okay. But this is a top defense in the NFL right here. And if you can't score, you can't win. So I think Deshaun Watson will probably be able to do enough, to win. But really, that Browns defense, I can see the Browns defense making it a defensive game. They have no. I mean, they have Cook as running back and Ezekiel Elliott, but I just don't think it will be enough. I just don't think it will be enough to take this defense to town. So I'm going with the Cleveland Browns on this one.
Yeah, it just might be the way. I got Cleveland too. I think the defense is just the defense is going to be too much. I don't know. If it was in Dallas, I'd probably pick Dallas, but because this is in Cleveland, I think Dallas is going to struggle a little bit, especially on the road. So I got them as an L. I got Cleveland winning that game. I think it's going to be a good game though. Commanders and Buccaneers. Oof, this is a little bit of a tough one. 425 slot. We'll get in Tampa Bay. This is gonna be a tough one because I don't really think either team is that great, but I also don't think they're like in the basement like horrible. Like so, I think this is a pretty even matchup. Realistically, I'm not sure what you think. I think this could be a relatively even matchup.
50-50? You think it's like a 50-50
Yeah,
thing?
this is really be 50-50. It could go either way.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. I'm going Bucks. but I completely understand your. I was leaning towards that too. Like I don't know if you heard the hesitation in my voice. Like I really do think that you're on to something. My saying is 50-50, but I'm leaning more towards the Bucks just because of playoff experience.
Mhm.
Just Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans are pretty serviceable. I think they got good backs. I think they're a very solid defense, experienced
Yeah,
team.
Todd Bowles has a good defense out there, so
Yeah, Commanders are they're dealing with a lot of friction. They even just fired one of their executives there over there just recently today. It's just like not a franchise that's fully grown into itself. I think Washington Commanders have the makings to be a great franchise, but I just don't think that they're there yet. And I think the Buccaneers are closer to to greatness than they are right now. A lot more off season. I mean, a lot more postseason, excuse me, experience. Um, so I'm just gonna lean on what I see, with the more experience, consistency. I'm just gonna go with Bucks.
yeah, I'll go the Bucks there too. I agree. I think that that could be no. I'm gonna go Bucks. I'm gonna go Bucks there. I think it'll be a little bit too much for the Commanders, but I can see it go either way. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we can. Commanders have a
Um,
new rookie quarterback. He could listen, man. If that dude is who he says he is, I could be completely wrong. If he comes out and he pulls out there and he goes to town and he puts in work, but against this defense, man, then they know how to do the disguised blitz coverages, the they just know how to manipulate the field. You've seen it in the playoffs against Jalen Hurts. You've seen it. They just know how to blitz. They know how to switch things up on that defense. And I think Buccaneers. I think they're a sneaky wild card contender. I really do.
yeah, they absolutely could be. I could absolutely see that. I even think the Falcons could be a sneaky one too, but I think the Bucks, of course, they got in last year. Well, they actually might not even be a wild card, man. Their division isn't great. That's going to be interesting. The Bucks, it's probably going to be I would say it's going to be between the Bucks and the Falcons for that division next year. But then you got the Saints and the Panthers. It's not a great division. That's how they got in last year. They won the division.
Like I said, I'm a believer in Spencer Rattler, so I
Yeah, we'll
think I
see.
I think he'll surprise some people, and I think Saints got that defense too to back it up. So I think in my opinion, Saints are winning that division, but
Okay.
you never know, man. Bucks could, like you said, they got more experience. They could pull it out. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. The Panthers will probably be the worst in the division. This is actually going to be a good game coming up too. This is a playoff rematch here. You have the Detroit Lions versus the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. This is I think one of those key ones you want to watch over the weekend. And we saw the Lions win that one last time. This isn't Detroit again versus LA. This is another one. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I could see the Rams pulling it out, but I also could see the Lions winning this game.
Mm.
Um, man,
That's a tough one. That's
that's
the
a very
tough.
tough
That's
one. It
tough.
really is. Rams are going to want that revenge spot. And then you got the Lions at home. Man, I'm gonna take the upset here. I think the Lions are the ones that you're probably gonna obviously think they're gonna win. I think the Rams are gonna take the upset here. I do. I think the Rams are gonna take the upset on the road, and they're gonna win on Sunday Night Football. They're gonna beat the Lions.
Mm.
That's a bold move because I was, I'm sure most people are probably gonna pick the Lions. I think the Rams are gonna win.
I'm a lean with you, man. I'm a lean with you on this one. Matthew Stafford is no joke, man. Listen, they have a couple down seasons, injuries, different things have been happening to the Rams, but I think they're and I think Lions have the potential to win their division. The
Yeah.
potential. Now, I don't think they will. I don't think it's
Oh, they won.
guaranteed.
I mean, they won it last year. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be only between them and Green Bay. But I think it might be Green Bay this year, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
I think
how the Packers ended last season in those last 9 games, man, I am inclined to agree with you. It probably could be. I think it could be Green Bay, to be honest with you. But
it could
um,
be. It's gonna be
Lions
between
are a
those two.
dirty
It's gonna
team,
be
man. They
yeah.
dirty, man. They good, and I mean that in a good way. Lions fans, don't get on here and start talking crazy. But Lions fans, CJ DJ was over in Detroit for a little bit. I respect the defense out there the Lions have.
That's gonna
But
be that'll be a loss for them. But they picked up that one. They picked who was that other guy they picked up out of the draft? We drafted a stud corner, but they also so did they. They drafted a stud corner too. I forget who they drafted. They drafted one of those top 3 guys.
is it that guy from Alabama or?
I think so. Yeah. Lions corner. Who did they draft? Terry and Arnold. Yeah, they drafted Terry and Arnold. He was number 1 on some people's draft boards. Not everybody. Most of the people I think had who we drafted, but some people did have Terry and Arnold as number 1 on there. So they got a stud. They do got a stud corner. CJ was more the safety spot, but they did get a little stronger at the secondary. They did lose CJ. I'm not gonna lie, if they had CJ over there with Terry and Arnold, that could be a filthy defensive backfield. But I think the Eagles are going to have a nice secondary this year. The spot that worries me about the Eagles is the linebacking core.
Linebacker.
And then on top of it, D-line, we'll see. We lost Reddick. Bryce Huff is going to have to step up into a big role. He's never, ever seen that much action that Reddick has seen. It's going to be interesting. I was really hoping. That was the biggest disappointment of the offseason, in my opinion, not being able to keep Reddick. Outside of that, we had a really, really good offseason. If we could have re-signed Reddick, that would have just capped it. But
no, I agree.
That's going to be a tough one not having Reddick here.
Yeah, I feel like Huff is the younger option. Maybe Eagles know something that we don't, and that was a lot had to do with contract stuff. So you never know how much money this guy is asking for. If he's only willing to cooperate with a team that's willing to show long-term commitment to him, the guy's what 31.
So, yeah, it really is a shame, man. Because I'm gonna be honest, they just don't want to. It seems like teams don't want to pay him like that, but he deserves that money, man. 10+ sack seasons over the last 4 years, man. The guy deserves to get paid. He deserves that big money. I know he's 31, man, but he's a freaking beast. He is an absolute beast. He was our best D lineman, bro. Like, not even D lineman, just he was our best defensive threat on the D line, bro. Like, going into the Super Bowl that year, man. He had the most sacks. Like, he's a freaking beast, man.
Yeah.
I like the kid. I'm gonna miss him. But yeah, no, we see everything that's going on in New York. But speaking of New York, Jets, Niners. This one is in San Francisco, which makes me lean San Fran. But nobody can forget here. Rodgers is going to be playing, so it's going to be a Rodgers. I hate to say I don't. Jets defense, no joke too. Jets have a really, really solid defense. This is actually going to be a good game, I think. It's in Santa Clara though, and the Niners do play pretty well at home. They struggle somewhat on the road. Not struggle. They're actually fair. They were a really good team last year, but came in our building and beat our ass on the road. But at home, Niners. Oof. What do you think, man? I mean, I think I'm gonna lean Niners only because they're home. If this was in New York, though, I might be picking the Jets here.
Man,
I want the Jets to win.
You gonna call me crazy? I'm picking the Jets.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't think you're crazy to pick them. Yeah.
It's a lot of turmoil going on in the San Francisco franchise right now with Brandon Ayuk holding out. They're just now signing their offensive lineman, who, by the way, another one who deserves the money. It took them a long time. He had to hold out. They finally signed the contract. But the issue is, I call Super Bowl hangover. honestly. I think that San Fran um, has a
Yeah,
hard time with quarterbacks that actually know how to get the ball out. And no, last year Eagles weren't able to do that. We didn't have the coordinators do that. Our quarterback wasn't playing well, was playing injured. Um, so I just think that the New York Jets, I think they have a lot to prove. I think they have a lot of good pieces on offense and defense.
what I just
Uh,
thought of too. You know what I just thought of too? They're missing Dre Greenlaw for probably majority of the season this year. Dre Greenlaw, what was it? He had a Achilles, right, last year. Was it
yeah,
Achilles or the ACL? Yeah, it was one of the two.
yeah, in the
But
Super Bowl. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was his Achilles, dude. So he's out probably majority. It happened in the Super Bowl, so he's out probably until probably till close to the end of the season, man. If he does come back, I'm actually gonna look at that. Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like Rodgers, has a lot to prove that he's not this old man. If Jets offensive line holds up, they definitely got this game. They have the receivers, the running backs, they have the defense, they have the corners, they have the linebackers, they have the safeties. They have the pieces to beat the 49ers. They just have to go out and do it. Let's see are they going to be able to do it in that stadium and Levi Stadium? I don't know, but I'm willing to bet. I'm not one to bet against Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is significantly better than Brock Purdy. I think that Purdy is surrounded by a lot of talent. I think that he is a serviceable quarterback in a great system that is tailor made for him to succeed. I think that the issue with the Eagles last year was that we didn't have that for Jalen Hurts. We didn't have a something that was tailor made for him to succeed. And I'm not even saying that Jalen needs that because Eagles still want 11-6. You know, um,
Right.
but there are certain times where you do need your system to help you out more than you carrying the system. So this is the balance that the Eagles were missing last year. So I think that if they find that balance, they'll be good. I feel like if Jets have their balance, they'll be good. If 49ers have their balance, they'll be good. But I'm willing to bet more so, man, that the Jets, I think Aaron Rodgers is hungry, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think that he was pretty embarrassed last year from the early injury in that first game. He capped in like very low playing time numbers. Like it was comedically bad for how long he played last year. But on the tail end of things, man, the fact that he came back, the fact that the franchise still believes in him, the players still believe in him. I think that they got I think they got something to prove, man. I think that they got you know, I think they got the drive, man. I think they're gonna have the fire. I think the Jets are gonna be dogs. I think a lot of these guys are gonna be pissed off because Hassan Reddick's not playing that first game with them. I feel like, yeah. I mean, Reddick, for all intents and purposes, was
Man.
supposed to be a piece for them,
This
and
is why I would like Reddick to be playing them, man, because it's a freaking 49ers, man. I would like him to be playing. It sucks. Um, Dude, what are the odds, man? Two Achilles injuries. You got Rodgers returning, Greenlaw probably later in the season, but two Achilles injuries last year. I'm excited to see Rodgers for the Jets, bro. We never got to fully see him over there. We never fully got to see him, dude. I'm excited to see what's going to happen over there for the Jets. You know what? The good thing about it is they're not in our conference, so they don't affect us at all. So I'm hoping for a Jets win over the 49ers.
yeah, man.
They don't affect us. They're in the AFC, so
Yeah, man.
it's like that. It's like that game tonight. Oh yeah, they're probably about to kick off. Ravens are probably going to kick off shortly too.
Yeah, is that on Peacock, by the way? Or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me check this one. Let me get this one for you guys tonight. Let's actually see up here. Let's scroll up. Let's see what we got here. What are we showing here?
Oh, it's definitely delayed.
TBD. Oh, it is delayed. Yeah, look, it got it right up here. What's up with that?
The rain, man, lightning.
KC, huh?
Maybe they should get Taylor Swift to get out there and sing a song or some shit while everybody's waiting for the game to start. She's over there supporting her guy Travis.
Yo, the football gods don't want the KC to get them freaking rings, bro. Why they're freaking holding it with the rain?
I'm
They don't
telling
want
you,
them to
man.
get their freaking rings. Come on, man. Yo, everybody waiting for football, and then they get the delay.
First game
Delayed.
of the season, man. It's delayed.
Yo, as long as our Eagles ain't delayed tomorrow, man, cool.
Facts,
Cool.
bro.
You can
Man, I
delay
hope
this game.
everything is good in Brazil, man. The security situation, everything, man.
Hopefully, we're good. I saw the Birds were on their way there. What was it, yesterday or Tuesday? They were on their way there, so I think it was Tuesday. Man, this game tonight, it's going to be a delay anyway because they're going to have to get their rings. Like, football's not actually going to kick off now because it's already a delay. Now it's going to be another delay for them to get their freaking celebration and all that. And football might not be kicking off till about 9:30. That depends on how long the rain lasts. Shit.
Yeah, man.
I ain't going to be able to stay up that late, man.
Yeah, you got work tomorrow and everything.
Yeah, I gotta be up early as hell
Maybe
tomorrow.
just watch the first half and then
Yeah, exactly. I got to stock it, and if it was if that's the thing, it's an AFC game. So for me, like, I want to see the Chiefs lose, but like, it's an AFC game. Like, for me, it's like they don't affect us until the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, but any loss that Kansas City can get, I'm cool with it. You feel me? I'm not really a big supporter of Kansas City,
Nah, me either. Me either. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the Ravens either, but the Ravens I'll take over KC any day. I'm tired of Kansas City, man. And you know what? They lost week 1 last year, too, to the Lions. Remember that? That was a close game. They actually lost that game. The
Yeah, I
Lions.
remember that one, man. I was so happy they lost that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That's how you knew the Lions were going to have a good season last year. They opened up strong against KC.
Did you hear about the Kansas City Chiefs superfan getting 17 and a half years in prison for robbery? He's like a super Kansas City. He's kind of like Kansas City's version of the dude with the mohawk and the
Oh,
paint.
yeah.
He's getting 17 and a half years, dude, for robbery. So,
What do you
I
do?
mean,
Who do you rob?
I don't even know the details. I just saw the report on Bleacher, but it's kind of fitting of a franchise that, I'm saying kind of, needs a little extra help to win. It's only fitting that one of their super fans needs a little extra help to make some money.
Yeah. I think they won last year. It was like they went through a tough road. They won fair and square, but I'm not gonna lie, the Eagles won. And I'm not just salty because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm just being realistic. That call was super bogus on the path
Yeah,
there.
man.
Super bogus. Here's the thing: if the Eagles go down losing, like, we have a drive to win the game there, and we go down and we don't do it, okay, fine. But like, you took it out of our hands. You took it out of our hands. We didn't have an opportunity to even capitalize. Or, you don't call that penalty; it's a field goal. And then guess what? You're up by a field goal, and the Eagles have an opportunity to go down, tie the game, go down and win the game. He didn't even give us an opportunity. They essentially threw the flag, gave them a first down. They got to kneel it all the way down to the to the end, take the timeout, kick the field goal, win the game.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're both small time YouTubers, but one thing I will say, bro, one of the biggest YouTubers in the history of YouTube, Penguin Zeno, or I forgot how to say it.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
He
about.
actually made a video about how the Eagles got cheated out of that Super Bowl with KC. Like he's not even a big sports buff guy. He's not, but right after that Super Bowl, he made a whole video about that James Bradbury call, and he was like, "Man, the dude's barely even touching him, man." Like, and the thing was, the ball wasn't even like nowhere near the player. It was no way he was gonna catch that ball. It was completely overthrown, and but he barely touched him, man. And I just think it was kind of one of those, savior calls, man. I think, the game owes it, in that situation, let the Eagles have a chance to go back downfield and win, especially how good they were playing. I think that those players got cheated out of a chance to try and, you know, I think the Super Bowl would have been a lot better if the Kansas City Chiefs would have stopped us fair and square on the defensive side. Um,
Whiny, man. Mahomes is whiny, bro. He literally whined to the ref, man. It's like, it's that whiny bullshit. At the end of the day, it's like he's the type of guy, though, that when a call goes against him, he can't stand it, man. He gets frustrated, but it's like, yo, but he's whining to the ref, man. Literally pointing and yelling and screaming. It's like, bro, what?
yeah, man, and you know, To be honest with you, Brady was the same way. If I'm
Which
being
made him so
completely
hateable.
honest,
Which made him so hateable, man.
and made our Super Bowl one of the best Super Bowls in history because it was a straight up dogfight of a game, and the refs stood back and let the teams play, and whoever won came out on top. That's who won, and that was it. It was no extra BS. It was no extra over involvement by the referees. No mystery flags. You know what I mean? Just straight up football, man. And so that's what makes to me, yeah, we have one of the best Super Bowls in history, in my opinion, if not the best. I don't think anyone expected Eagles to win that Super Bowl. I think maybe you could make a argument that the New York Giants, I think, is their second um, Super Bowl in the 2010s, where they beat the Patriots after the Patriots had the perfect season. You can make an argument that that is also one of a greatest Super Bowl in history, possibly. But I mean, our quarterback caught a touchdown pass, dog. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I've never seen nothing like that in the Super Bowl. So proud of this team, proud of this franchise. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, to be honest with you, fuck the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope they lose. And to be honest with you, I don't really like Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens either. I don't really like them, but the reason I respect them, I respect them. I don't like them, but I respect them. And it's hard for me to respect KC. And I was the one you remember last year. I wanted KC to win the Super Bowl last year,
Yeah.
because San Francisco is
I did
another
not want to see the
franchise I don't
49ers.
respect.
No, I did not want to see the 49ers winning, man.
Nah, they would have continued to talk. They would continue, and it's only right that after we lost out on our Super Bowl, they talked all the trash that they wanted to talk about us. Yeah, they came in our city, they smacked us in the mouth, they walked away, and they continued to talk. Then they made it to the Super Bowl. Good job, good job. We made it to the Super Bowl too. Good job. But you got smacked in the mouth in the Super Bowl too. You weren't able to get the job done, and from in my book, us and the 49ers are in the same boat. So I don't think anyone should be talking right now. We're starting fresh with a new season, and looking forward to the Eagles versus Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, there's only been two NFC opponents, right, that have won the Super Bowl since us, right? I think it's been the Rams and the Bucks with Tom Brady. I think they're the only two NFC opponents that have won the Super Bowls in the NFC since us.
Yeah, man. I think it's time for another one. To be honest with you, and why not us? I think that we put in the work. I think that our quarterback has been through a lot. I think our franchise, I think the fan base is kind of tired of seeing us kind of underachieve. But I do think that we did have a Super Bowl hangover. It just showed up at the end. And I think you know how I feel about Sirianni.
Which is why I think you're right. I think the Niners are going to have one too. I think they're gonna have a little bit of a hangover. It might take them a little longer in the season, but I think that they are going to hit that.
Yeah, man. It's like things only go perfectly well when you're winning. And so if you're not winning, man, a lot of the egos, a lot of the sour feelings, a lot of the things, come out. Brandon Ayuk was asking for a trade. You know what I'm saying? So he obviously didn't want to be in San Francisco. Um, I know now he could talk, he could chalk it up to, oh, okay, I was just doing that was his tactics. But honestly, man, right when that Super Bowl ended, you could tell he didn't want to he didn't want to be there anymore. Because right after that Super Bowl ended, he was saying, "This is my last year here," even though he had more than 1 year left on his contract. He was kept saying, "This is my last year here. This is my last year here." So a trade was like on his mind right after the Super Bowl. He did not want to be in San Fran.
Right. Absolutely. Let me see. Who else is it? And then Debo too. Debo, wasn't there like rumors that Debo was going to be out too, and he's obviously still there, but it's going to be. I don't know. It'll be interesting. They're still a talented team, but they obviously could still have a hangover this year. Most teams do. I feel. Look at the Bengals. The Bengals had that year against the Rams, and they never even got back. They
Yeah,
always
man.
have an injury. You never know, man. Injuries happen. Things happen.
I mean,
Brock,
Niners
Brock,
consistently choked in the
Brock
Super
Purdy
Bowl.
might have some issues with that Jets defense week one.
Man, if that's the case, man, I can see people kind of scratching their heads and asking about a hangover, man. I'm telling you, if they don't pull this one out week one straight out, just like if the Eagles, I mean,
Oh man, he's probably happy. He's probably happy that Reddick ain't playing, bro. Reddick will probably hurt him again.
I know Reddick would
Brock
probably hurt
Purdy,
him.
he's probably happy Reddick ain't playing, man.
Yeah, man.
Reddick be coming for his ass. I
Yeah,
would.
bro.
I wish we would have got. I wish we would have been able to get rid of Sweat and kept Reddick, man. But Sweat, I'm happy. You know, we at least brought Sweat back. Josh Sweat,
We got Sweat, we got Huff, we got Carter. I do believe in
Davis,
a lot of our guys there.
yeah, Davis,
Um,
Graham.
yeah, Graham's still there, Yeah, like you said, Davis. Um, I don't really know how I feel about Nolan Smith right now. I gotta see him prove it. He has to prove it. I don't know how I feel about N'Kobe Dean. I gotta see him. He has to prove it.
Yeah, Dean has a lot to prove.
Yo, Georgia, show up. Georgia guys, show up for real.
I know. We also got to remember. I mean, he wasn't getting all the snaps, but Fletch retired too. Fletcher
Yeah,
Cox retired, so we lost him. Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle on the defense is it's just Hassan Reddick. You know, we had him, bro. I'm not gonna lie, this defense will still be the linebacking core is still gonna have a lot of questions. I mean, we have we got Devin White. We signed Trotter Jr. I think he's gonna take a little bit of time. He's gonna take a little bit of time to kind of settle in. N'Kobe Dean, I saw in the practices and stuff like Dean was getting cooked like in the practices. I don't know. Like it's we'll see. We'll see what happens there. He's got a lot. The linebacking core worries me the most.
yeah, bro. I agree, man. And I think that kind of weird with the Devin White situation. Kind of weird with the Isaiah Rogers situation too. If you didn't hear about that, he's ruled out for week one game. So those
So
are two big veterans missing, man. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm worried yet, but I am kind of like confused as to what's going on with that. But hey, you roll with what you got. You roll with what you got.
that's all you can
And
do.
yeah, I mean, that's why we made the draft. This is why we drafted Mitchell for real, for real. This is why we drafted Cooper DeJean. This is why we picked up some extra linebackers in free agency, man. So, I'm still gonna be optimistic. I'm especially about this offense. If offense can stay on the field, like I said, man, long drives with scores at the end, man, you won't even really. The defense will be in great shape all game if our offense can manage the game.
Agreed. Agreed, man. Offense is going to be nasty, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it, man. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I think we're going to have a
yeah,
good week one. We'll see whenever this game gets started tonight, but go Birds. Excited to see it, man.
yeah, man.
Let's go. Let's go
Let's
Birds.
go. And I hope everybody enjoys the KC and Baltimore Ravens game tonight. Hopefully Taylor Swift doesn't have to sing or nothing, while they're waiting for whatever is going to happen over there. Um, but yeah, man, go Birds. Computer's about to die, so I appreciate you for having me, bro. Appreciate your time. Um, and I look forward to being on here the next time that I am on here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate you coming on, bro. Yeah, Rob was gonna come on, but he had a meeting that he had like last minute that kind of got caught up. So I told him, no problem. I know he couldn't make it in tonight, but yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Check out Rich's YouTube channel, Rich M Media on YouTube, guys. He's probably gonna have a lot of great content coming up now that the birds are back. So a lot of good content this fall and winter. So check out that on YouTube. And thanks, brother, for coming on. See you guys next week, episode 184. Go Birds. Let's go. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy the Packers and Eagles game. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you next week for episode 184.
appreciate y'all.
Peace, guys.